Hi guys, welcome to the first episode of our unnamed podcast. We're going to talk about some random stuff. We're not 100% sure yet. This is more of a trial run, but we're going to see how it goes.
Very good.
Let's introduce the members of our cast.
So smooth. Okay, I'm Mason. So that's me.
I'm Travis. So that's me.
Very good.
I'm Reilly, I've already spoke.
AK
I'm Matt.
Smiles. And this is
I'm Matt.
Matthew right here.
Mumson.
No, you can look him up on Facebook.
Okay, that's
Right.
Matt Mumson.
Very
What are we
good.
going to say now?
Okay. So, what have you guys been watching lately?
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage?
Luke Cage.
Okay, how's that?
It's good.
Yeah?
Season 2, is it? Right?
It's season 2. It has a... I don't want to spoil the ending.
No, just, who cares?
It has an ending at the end where he pretty much becomes like the Kingpin.
Oh, really?
He looks more of a Kingpin than bloody...
Wilson Fisk.
Yeah, he looks more like a Wilson Fisk than the bloody... What's his name? Vincent D'Onofrio?
But
What's his
black.
name?
I
Yeah.
have no idea.
Yeah.
So does he have like a nice sweet white suit with like a purple...
It's not a white suit, but he's got the whole like really douchey suit on, and it's just and it's weird because he goes from like being the villain at the end, the Bushmaster, to just being an absolute dickhead in like the last episode. It's
Wait,
really
who's this? The bad guy?
Luke Cage.
Like,
He becomes like a villain at the end for absolutely no reason, just because they're trying to build more of a build up for season 3.
Okay.
Because it already felt like they were running out of ideas for season 2, because there's only so much you can do with a bulletproof guy.
Yeah, so...
Shoot him, I guess.
You could shoot him, yeah.
So
Blow him up. They shoot him and blow him up so many bloody times in this show.
are they building onto the Iron Fist and Luke Cage, Heroes for
there's
Hire?
Episode 10, they have a full episode based on that.
So Heroes for Hire.
Yeah, Heroes Fire. They do the whole, they go and him and
Danny
Rand and
Rand.
Iron Fist in the Netflix show is an absolute just jerk of a
The
character.
thing is, when I first watched Iron Fist, I watched maybe 6 episodes. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
this sucks ass.
It's a real struggle to get through the entire freaking
So I
13 episodes
stopped
of that.
watching that, and I just went straight to the Defenders.
Yeah.
And that was a good time for what it was.
He's better in the Defenders because he's better in a group setting, just like he was better when he was with Luke Cage.
Okay, so he's better in this.
Yeah, and it's good because their powers actually work against each other. Like there's a scene where he does the Iron Fist and he like punches against Luke's hands and it just like it erupts the whole
Like
room.
a sonic boom.
Yeah, like
Oh, that is sexy.
yeah. But then again, there's also scenes where Iron Fist has to talk.
I
And that's-
talk.
No, he has to talk.
Oh no.
And that's not
he has
so
to,
good.
He has to act.
The guy who plays him, he's just like a real whiny little bitch.
So you're saying that he had to act, and that was hard for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Stepping
hard.
out of his comfort zone
Yeah.
as an actor.
Yeah. He does his best.
You have to deliver a line. Oh god. Oh goodness.
It's more the writers because they don't know how to successfully write the whole like the mystical way he talks, like talking about chi and like balance and all that stuff. They try to do it, but it just comes off really like cringy because of his little high pitched voice, and he's talking about how you have to be all balanced, and he's just some little white
so
boy.
when you read Iron Fist in the comics, how do you imagine his voice to be?
Like a sexy Asian man.
But he's not Asian. He's white.
He's white in the show.
He's white in the comics as well.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. He is. He's white.
Thanks. I don't read Marvel. I read DC.
Hold on, let me fact check this. You go.
Yeah.
He was like in the show. He was the first ever Caucasian Iron Fist.
In the show.
Yeah, in the show. Which I don't know if that's the same in the comics.
It is. He's white. He's white in all his...
You can't
No,
see it.
it's
He's got a
sort of
mask.
No. Go off. Get out of it. We're looking at images, guys. Okay. So...
Is that him, maybe? He
No.
looks pretty Caucasian.
Yeah, he's a white guy. He's a white man. No, that's...
You can never see his face.
You
I
can.
think that's from the TV show, that one.
In the... Face.
Let's ask our viewers.
Iron
I mean,
Fist.
listeners. Whoops, listeners.
Send us in a bloody.
Look. Okay, that's there. Look. No, why he's got blonde hair.
Well, he does look very not Asian. I mean, I
Let's
don't
agree
want
to disagree that he's
I don't
Asian.
want to
Let's agree to
profile
disagree that he's Asian.
No. I find it really silly. Every time there's like these type of like things come out, they're like, "How dare a
Yeah.
white actor play?"
Whitewashing.
Yeah,
That
it's
happened
like, but
in
the thing is, he was
Doctor
white.
Strange with the
Sorcerer's
Ancient one,
Ring,
yeah.
Ancient one.
Yeah, But like, in Ghost in the Shell, right? I know none of you guys have probably watched that anime.
I've seen the movie.
Yeah, the movie. You've seen the movie?
Yeah, it's pretty average.
It's a pretty good movie.
It's pretty average.
You're right.
I've seen the original.
I've
I've seen the original anime. That's right. I watch anime. I'm like Caleb.
Like, are you pulling out other people's names now?
Yeah. Who's Caleb?
One day we might have him on.
Special guest.
One day.
Celebrity.
What was I saying? Yeah, so in the Ghost in the Shell, right? It's a robot. It's a soul in a robot. Like, so that robot could be literally anything. So it doesn't matter if it's white or
it's an Asian chick.
Yeah, but people are like, how dare they put a white person in an Asian character? It's like, it's a robot. It doesn't matter.
I think
it's because everyone else was Asian, weren't they?
There were some white characters in that.
I feel like if you make a robot, it doesn't have a nationality.
It doesn't.
It's not Asian. It's not Caucasian. It's a robot. So you can't say, oh, it looks Caucasian. But you can't like cast a Caucasian actor and say, oh, it should be, Asian. It doesn't matter. It's a robot.
You don't understand why they do it though. The movie's obviously going to have more of a
boom,
like a pull with audiences if it's an actor they know, not some foreign actor. Like foreign actors can be great,
but the thing is, that used to be it. Like a long time ago, when like you'd have your Tom Cruises and stuff, and that would pull people in.
Yeah.
Nowadays, that's not really a thing anymore.
Yeah,
it's like yeah, I know that person, but I don't really care. I want a good story.
Yeah. They try to do that with The Mummy, where they just got Tom Cruise, and they just think that him being in the movie will just pull in audiences. And it had a terrible script. The CGI was awful, and the movie did terribly because they thought that just because Tom Cruise was in it, everyone would be like, "Oh, I got to see it."
What did you think of the original Mummy movies?
I loved them.
They were good.
What, the one with Brendan Fraser or the
Brendan
original ones?
Brendan
Fraser. Yeah, they're great.
I liked them. I didn't like the Scorpion King because
No.
it's too
With
distracted by
The
the
Rock.
CGI.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's the Rock plays that same character from the Scorpion King in The Mummy too. But he's like a weird CGI rock with scorpion body. It's weird.
I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, it was bad. Really, every time I think back to those Mummy movies, I only remember number 3, which is the one that no one else remembers.
Return of the Dragon Emperor or something.
Yeah, where the guy turns into
man, you should love that one, don't you, man?
It's like,
Cool.
well, I guess they're all zombie type things,
Yeah.
but it's like they got an army of...
Yeah, they changed it. Instead of it just being like one like really OP, like scary mummy thing, they changed it to like a freaking army of just like a bunch of random skeleton CGI monsters. Oh,
that was good burp.
it was good. Well, this coffee's pretty average, so it's the only way I can get through it.
Okay.
Yeah. I barely remember it. The movie's so old.
But yeah, that always annoys me when they're casting actors. It's like, how dare they whitewash? It's like, it doesn't matter.
Doing a podcast here, goddamn.
It was a motorcycle. No, it wasn't. Was it?
It's a dirt
It
bike.
was.
So for just listeners, the singular listener that we have, which is probably
us.
Matt's mum.
Hell yeah.
We're outside in the open. We got, we're in a bakery where they got something, around us. So hopefully it doesn't catch any wind. But you can, right next to it is a road. So I don't know. Hopefully that doesn't catch anything. Matt?
Yeah, man. Give us some latest news.
So give us some news, Matt.
What have you been up to, man?
Give me a minute.
Okay, he's going to look at his phone for a bit.
Edit this whole shit out where Matt's just looking at his phone for friggin' 30 minutes.
Talk about some recent movies or
Matt, tell us about
upcoming
your
movies.
opinion on Incredibles 2.
Oh
you
my
seen it?
god. It is good. It is
We have some-
That's going to catch on this.
Why is it good, Matt?
Yeah, give us... So
Tell us how it compares to the original.
just for people to know, right?
Just pretend you're talking to us normally.
We're trying to push Matt to make a YouTube channel where he reviews movies with his great tastes in movies. So this will be a good opener for him. So yeah,
What I liked about it was you actually got to see Jack's full potential.
You got to see
As
his
a
full. You got
superhero.
to see his full potential in Jack Returns.
well, in this there's technically like
We're good.
17 like powers or so, which is
Yeah.
actually 22 or so, I think. I
Yeah,
remember.
they didn't show all of them.
But in Jack Returns, they only show like it's a bit more.
It's just like a little like 5-minute thing where he's messing around with the babysitter.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it for a while. It might be longer than that.
What
but-
annoys me in that is that his laser eyes is blue,
Yeah,
but in the new movie it's green.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe him matured in the few days that passed through, number 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Well, how far apart was number 1 and 2?
They're only a few days apart.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it starts like directly after.
Oh, it
because
starts
the
immediately
Underminer
after.
comes
yeah.
up, and then the next movie starts.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to actually find out what the Underminer was like, and then as soon as he goes underground after that first scene, he's just never. He's never in it again.
Yeah.
He will probably come back in number 3.
I know more about him based on the bloody Incredibles PS2 game that I played, where you could choose to be Mr. Incredible or Frozone.
I remember that game. That was a good
It's
one.
actually pretty fun.
The only reason I know that is because I'm going to, name drop some bigger, podcasters, Mr. Sunday Movies.
Who's that?
That one podcast you only
The
listen
one
to.
podcast I listen to, yeah. I just feel like I'm
This is so
betraying
meta.
them. God, it's like we know we're in a podcast.
Oh my gosh, so meta.
Self-aware.
Yeah, so what so
Well, I'll tell you the thing. There's one thing I didn't like is we didn't get a return of the honey. Where's my super suit?
We did get an
They did
extended
like a
scene
little
though.
version of that. though.
yeah.
Like that original scene with Frozone was
That
like
was perfect.
like 3 minutes long. This one was like
Was it?
13 seconds? Yeah, it's a pretty long scene. He was like running around the house and he was like, "Where's my super suit?"
Yeah, he's like looking around.
And she's all like, "I don't know where your damn super suit is."
It's for the greater good.
you
I think
probably
it's-
have
I
the
do-
greatest
I do-
video
ever
ever
wanna
great.
get.
I do a great-
Honey, I am the greater good.
No, we do the greatest Samuel L. Jackson accents.
Oh yeah.
I think you do a very good black female
Yeah,
voice.
well, that's me. I'll have to say that for the next episode.
Well, listeners are going, is there a girl with them? No, it's just
No,
RJ
it's
Swish.
just me.
It's
It's different personalities.
He's an actor.
He's
Oh.
like the guy that plays Joker in Suicide Squad. He has to
Jared
method act.
Leto.
Yeah,
He's
he's
a
the
method actor, is
method
he?
actor.
Oh.
As long as you like that, aren't
She
you? You're like,
becomes a girl.
you put on, you do blackface, you do your hair up.
I'm like Tropic Thunder, where I get so into the character, I go insane.
Yeah.
The reason we've
Hate
asked,
crimes.
the reason we've asked Matt what his opinion on movie is because Matt is known for the most ridiculous opinions on
The
movies.
best movie.
The best meaning he loves the worst movies ever made.
What's your favourite movie?
Oh, Lord of the
Mumson?
Rings. All the entire Lord of the Rings.
Well, that's okay.
No, it's not.
Franchise
Lord of the Rings is
is
boring and terrible.
the best.
The Hobbit is boring and
Oh.
terrible. Lord of the Rings is vaguely better.
I'd probably prefer The Hobbit than Lord of the Rings.
No,
Really?
Because at
No,
least
the
Lord of the
CGI
at least The
is-
Hobbit isn't 4 hours long every
But
single
it's all
movie.
CGI.
Well,
But the thing is,
No, that was
the problem
done
with
with
The
like.
Hobbit is that it's one book, a tiny book, and
They
they're
spread it
literally
out into 3 movies.
Yeah.
3 long ass movies.
Of greatness.
Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
And the thing is that I did actually like in the Hobbit movies that they did add that Gandalf talking to the elf chick about
Galadriel.
about where the ring is and all that stuff and what's going on.
So you like all the stuff to do with the actual Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
And all the new stuff, they're like, what is this? I get that. Well, then again, I think all the Lord of the Rings lore is pretty interesting, but the way they go about showing it and telling it is the most boring thing in the
Well,
universe.
you haven't read the books.
I don't want to read
Haven't
the
seen
books.
all the movies
I shouldn't
either.
have to read the books to enjoy a movie.
No. I'm saying you.
I know more about the lore if I read the books.
Yeah, you're saying that you enjoy the lore, but you'd enjoy the books tell so much more about the lore and then explain what's going on in so much more depth than the movies do.
I think with these sorts of movies, and where they have a book that is just full of lore, and often with comic movies as well, you should be able to watch the movie and appreciate it as a movie. But then, if you want to appreciate all the different backgrounds that they don't matter, but makes it more interesting, I guess, if you care, then you read the book and it makes it better.
Well, the thing is,
But it should stand on its own as a movie.
in the comic movies, they don't really talk. There's not lore; it's references. It's like, yeah, you know that in Avengers issue 136 in volume 3.
Well, in comics, they do that.
Yeah, but in movies, they usually say, oh, you know that bit where there's the Iron Man's new armor and stuff. It's the Bleeding Edge armor, right? It's like that, guys. Isn't that cool? That's a reference to that particular armor. They don't talk about the bigger Marvel universe. I guess they're somewhat doing it with Infinity War a bit, and the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Yeah.
What about you, Matt? What do you think about that?
What are we talking? What movie are we talking about?
Very good.
What movie?
Just sitting here, just not.
We're talking about
listening.
the bigger picture about like the law, like in movies
In all movies.
and there.
Do you like the Lord of the Rings lore?
Yes, I enjoy it very
What makes you
Oh,
think
yeah,
it's
that's-
interesting?
That's sexy goss.
much.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it's making brum brum sounds.
How deep it goes.
Yeah. What do you like? What particular part of
So
the law do you
profound.
like?
Like, alright. So in the Lord of the Rings movie, you have the spider,
Sheila.
Sheila, and when you find out
Yeah.
that she has,
I'm pretty sure it's Sheila.
when you find out she
Sheila,
has,
not Sheila.
You would know. I wouldn't.
when you find out
Sheila.
she has that her mother is okay. I don't know the full of it,
It's
but I know she's extremely powerful, and that she even at one point challenged.
Big guy.
Who's the main protagonist in Lord of the Rings?
Aragorn.
Aragorn.
No,
I think it's Frodo.
No, hang on,
Nicholas.
not protagonist.
Samwise.
Who's the big bear?
Gollum.
Who's
Gandalf.
Sauron.
Sauron?
I know
that's it.
this, and you have
Protagonist. No,
He
he's the
at one point
antagonist.
he even
Yeah,
battles.
bad guy.
He even at one point she scares Sauron. No, not Sauron.
a spider.
No, yes.
A spider scares
Yes,
that.
yes.
Well, spiders are pretty scary, you know. They
No,
got
no,
like
well,
8
her-
legs. They got like the
Her mother's.
They
They're
get
hairy.
killed by a freaking hobbit.
No, yeah.
Hobbit.
You have to look into the lore of it.
He just shove his big feet in his
No.
mouth.
No, who's
Choke on his hairy feet.
it's not Sauron. Who's the
Terrible.
guy? Who's the guy who wears the ring?
Frodo?
Sauron.
Saruman.
Gollum.
No, Saruman's the.
Saruman is played by Christopher Lee.
Yeah. So it's not Saruman. It's
Sauron is
it's-
the big bad guy.
How confusing is that?
Yeah, it's
How
Sauron.
can the
Just
name's
think
so
it-
similar?
No, no.
Because
So-
that's
the law.
that's Tolkien's way of like, you know, he's a master of language. He
Yeah.
can make languages, and that's why he makes everything sound a bit similar.
Yeah,
He's a master at it.
but at one
At
point,
language.
Sheila does.
Shelob.
Sheila.
Sheila.
Sheila's like an Australian term for female.
So at one point, she loves whatever.
Shelob.
Sheila's mother attempts to fight
I'm loving this.
Sauron.
God,
Whoever it
for
is.
God's sake, man. It's taken you about 30 minutes to say one story.
This is the beauty of Matt. This is why we have Matt.
wait, is it Sauron or attempts to fight Sauron?
The big eye.
Which yes.
Okay, Sauron, yeah.
No. Yeah, let's just go with that.
I'm going to have a stroke soon, man, if you don't get to the point of this goddamn story.
Well, one of the other ends up challenging the other for power.
let me clear this up, Matt. You love that Shelob is able to scare.
Sheilob's mother.
Yep, is able to scare the big bad in the series.
Movie.
Yes, and you like that.
Not just that, but I think that's good.
Like there's something little like a spider can scare
No,
something
yeah,
as big as something like Sauron.
Sheila's mother isn't just a spider. She's a very powerful.
Yeah, she's like
She's like one of the great. What you call them? Like in Lord of the Rings, there's
She's a spider with 9 legs instead of 8 legs.
It's just poking out of its head.
It comes out of its head like a unicorn.
I'll look it up.
No, like I'm pretty sure what you're talking about because in the lore, so the main god guy and the god guy splits off into have little angels and stuff. And one of the angels, like the Bible, gets jealous and goes away for a bit, and then they make the universe, the Earth, Middle Earth, whatever. And part of them like make like races and stuff like the elves and the dwarves and the ents, and God makes the elves and the humans. And the main bad guy makes, like, kind of twists, like, the dwarves and the elves and stuff to something evil. And I think they do that with, like, he's able to make a big spider thing, Sheila's mother, into a big evil thing. And is that what you like, Matt?
Hang on, so I'm not listening to be honest.
I know that like Gandalf and the eagles, and I think the wizards, like in general, I think they're on like a different level. They're like way above everything else.
Yeah, they're like angels and stuff.
Yeah, sort of like that. Yeah.
They can never die.
You know, it really doesn't change the story at all. But
Like, I'm pretty sure they can, like,
Cool, I
they
guess.
can't die from anything but themselves. Like, if one of them, a wizard kills a wizard or something. Or,
All that stuff about Sheila, or whatever the hell its name is. Do you find that out in the 25th hour of the first movie, or the 72nd hour?
I
Ungoliant.
don't think they explain it in the movies at all. This is what he's talking about.
I just knows.
Ungoliant is an evil spirit in the form of a spider.
Very
That's
good.
what she is.
That's the mother spider thing.
Yeah.
Mother spider.
What's his name?
Ungoliant.
Sheila.
Ungoliant.
Sheila and Sheila.
That token, Tolkien is a real beacon of Australian lingo.
He loves
How
it.
long did it take us to say that one thing about the damn spider?
Well, I'm sure we'll cut it down.
No, I want that whole thing.
No.
I just want to listen to Matt's just like mind work. There's hours on end so I can understand.
You can hear the cogs working in his head.
Grinding as they go by.
There's some smoke coming from his ears.
When he was trying to
Mate.
remember the thing about the spider, his lip was like trembling because I think all his mind power was going to his lips just to try to get them to say what he's thinking, but he couldn't do it. So his lip was just like vibrating, like a bloody vibrating toothbrush. It's ridiculous.
It's a lovely image.
Oh god. But you like that, don't you, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's lots of other things within the law, but that was interesting for me, knowing that Ungoliant could challenge Sauron, and Sauron was actually scared. And during that moment, he actually called upon several. Let me get the word. What was it? Several. Balrogs, that's it. Several Balrogs to come help
Well,
him.
there's only one Balrog.
Yeah.
In Lord of the Rings, yeah, but they're like demons of the whole.
Yeah, I think there's things that are
underworld.
like the Balrog. That's just sort of one of the...
Then why they only show one of them, and why they get taken out by some dumb old man in a bloody
Because already
hood?
the movie
Because
was
I'm pretty sure-
50,000
I'm
years
pretty
long.
sure-
That's true.
I'm pretty sure he's more powerful than the Balrog. Or they're around the same
What's
like,
the only way he
ballpark.
can beat it is killing himself.
Because he's an old man.
He's an
To come
idiot.
back
Well,
as
that's-
white
that's
man.
what
Yeah,
made
well,
him
didn't he
stronger.
come back as like the super
Well,
power?
Yeah, he came back even stronger.
Well, the thing is, right, he's like Jesus.
How does that even work? He just
The
comes back.
What I love in those movies is that the magic, right? Like when the White Wizard's like tossing around Gandalf with his stick, he's just swinging around the room. It's like, "Whoa, doof, woo, doof."
I love that part. That's my favourite
It's like
bit.
the magic is in the movie is so like in the series is so bad. It's such bad.
It
the world
makes
is cool.
fireworks.
But like
It's
there's
like
no
it's
like
really
there's no fireball or there's no like
Yeah.
control water. There's
no,
let me
like,
toss you around the room a
Wingardium
bit.
Leviosa, you know, it's just...
Maybe Lord of the Rings could be the most amazing series in the universe, but I wouldn't know because I can never get past the first 2 hours of the first movie because it's so long and so dragged
It's so
out,
good.
and it's just like, oh, hey Frodo, let's bloody make out for another 7 hours, Sam. It's just, oh.
Wait, who's saying that?
Bro, they say it all the time.
No. What you said just there.
After time,
So you're like,
Sam's walking up with Frodo, and he's like, "Oh, my legs are tired. How about a quick hand job, Sam?" And Frodo's like, "Oh, thank you."
no, but
I don't remember that part. I'm sure
wait,
it
you just said it right. So who's talking in that? Who's saying this?
Sam is talking to Frodo, saying,
Why is he
"How much-"
referencing himself, as Sam?
Because he talks in the third person. Sam is another name for his Frodo penis.
He's
Obviously.
like, hey Frodo, let me give you
Obviously.
let me give you a blowjob because I'm Sam.
That's
what you
That's how they
do.
talk. They're bloody hobbits. They're retarded. They're like the stupid old man with the stick.
Okay,
It's
I
always
was,
high on weed.
I was
Yeah.
totally wrong. It's not Sauron. It's not
Oh, what?
Sauron. It's Melkor.
That's what they're smoking in those
We
long
weren't
pipes.
close.
Yeah, well, it is weed. They're smoking
Oh.
weed.
Oh, that's a pretty good story then. If you told me there was weed, then I
Yeah,
would watch
well.
it every day.
It's leaf beard. No, it's a leaf something. That's what it is.
An ent.
I'm done talking
It's
about
a
the
bit of
Rings
an
for the next 5
Like it
minutes.
is.
And select the tree people.
Yeah.
You don't
I feel like
smoke.
leaf beard is the name of an ent.
It is. It is. It is. Yeah. That's what.
So they're smoking leaf
That's what
weed. It's
Pippi-
weird.
Yeah, beard.
It's probably some super
Probably
crazy wizard weed or something.
Gee, if you could like be...
From the weed
Well,
tree.
Well, the reason why Gandalf keeps on coming down to the hobbits is because they make the best weed, and they're like really nice guys, I guess.
Why do you
They're
think they're
really-
so
Probably like
cheerful all the
sucking on
time?
their big old feet.
Oh yeah. Gandalf has
the
a
hair on
foot
their feet is
like,
actually
hairy
a
feet,
drug.
yeah.
Gandalf's got a like foot fetish.
They just weave in
It's like, oh,
into the hair on their feet.
oh, Frodo, I love your big toe. Let me just suck on your big toe.
Let me suck on it.
What are you looking at, man?
I'm looking at the Wikipedia.
I love
This
how,
actually explains the whole story.
I love
know
how
what I'm saying.
Matt is still going about his thing or other. Well, we've
When you guys are all,
passed.
yeah.
Fully
You guys are like,
invested.
He's trying to remember the name of the bloody spider or something.
You know, I was just thinking while we were talking before, we were talking about how Sauron is not a protagonist; it's an antagonist.
Yes.
I was thinking, what if Lord of the Rings was told from the perspective of Sauron? You know, a bunch of his friends make jewelry, and he gets really depressed because they don't give him any, so he makes his own.
That's the origin of the ring. His friends wouldn't make him any jewelry in arts and crafts class.
So yeah, so he makes his own, and then some stupid small person throws it into a volcano. That's mean. And,
That is mean.
And in the meantime, someone cuts it off his hand.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just rude.
You know, he's going around, he's like, man, no man can defeat me, and just chops his finger off.
Yeah, that's right. That's how he lost it. Cut his finger off. Or something.
You know, and
Wait,
they say
shit.
Isildur thrown into the fire, and Sauron's like, please don't.
That's when he was in his human form. Why are we still talking about Lord of the Rings? I don't give a
Interesting.
shit
Wait, who was
about
in
Lord of the
there,
Rings. Oh god.
So you're more of a, Smiles, you're more of a fan of Game of Thrones, isn't
I like Game of Thrones because Game of Thrones actually shows gore and all that kind of stuff. And there's lots of boobies.
That makes sense why you like it then.
I just think it's better. It's more concise. Well, at least it was. And apart from the new seasons where everybody has the ability to go on a boat and then travel across the world in 10 minutes.
See, I haven't watched.
I haven't
Game of
watched any
Thrones,
of them.
so I
Yeah, because
don't
they've surpassed the books now.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
the creators of the show are now writing the stories themselves instead of basing it off
well,
bloody
they got like a frame from
know. George R. R. Martin.
George.
They
I'm
got
not
a-
saying Tolkien. Look at he's bloody Tolkien's the guy who did the bloody Witch in the Wardrobe, isn't he?
Oh yeah,
No, that was
that's
C.S. Lewis.
That's C.S. Lewis.
Tolkien was
Tolkien's
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Because
Oh,
you just
God.
love Lord of the Rings.
I love it so much. Every time I'm talking about anything, it's secretly bloody Lord of the Rings.
It's always just Tolkien. Tolkien behind every fantasy world.
Oh, God.
That's why everything is based off Lord of the Rings, all the creatures and stuff. It's always just Lord of the Rings.
Oh
baby.
yeah,
You see an orc, you're just like, that's top. That's Big Daddy-O.
That's the Big Daddy.
That's what you call them.
Speaking of bloody Game of Thrones, Matt, you want to talk about Westworld?
Oh, I do. It is.
You know, that's a
it's
perfect
good.
transaction, bro.
It's
I
good.
know, right? I was thinking of that one.
Both HBO.
Yeah, let's
We're masters of the segue here.
Yes.
What'd you think about the twists, man?
Yeah. Now you can talk to Smiles about the
I've been waiting all day to do this. So the twist. Alright. The first one where you find out that I think it's the first one where you find out that
Oh, deja vu.
what's the guy's name?
He's
Starts with
yapping.
B. Brendor,
Where's the time?
Oh, it's in bars. I don't know. how
black
to
dude
go.
who finds out
5
he's.
hours.
Okay, Matt, seeing how it's going to take you about 7 years to actually...
Just give me the name.
Okay, I'm assuming you talk about when you find out Bernard is actually a host.
That's it.
And the second one where you find out William was the man in black.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one, where Ford gets shot by Dolores at the end?
Yes.
That's
Okay.
pretty cool.
I see why he had to do that. Though.
Yeah. So the first twist, you like when Bernard's a host and he ends up killing the chick?
Yeah.
Spoiler
Yeah,
alert,
and then
by
you
the way.
find, and then later
Spoiler.
on,
Oh yeah, spoilers for
and then-
bloody Westworld.
and then,
Literally every twist in the first season.
and then in the second season you find out
The
that
second season?
That's right. That's right.
Oh,
And you haven't watched the second season.
I have.
Yeah.
I like the
Yeah.
part where you find out that
I love Matt explaining things so good.
It's like, I love that part when his lips trembling.
Oh god.
second season where you find out the chick, forgot her name.
Very good.
Do you know anyone's name in the show?
No, you find out she
It's a
isn't.
black guy, or
Yeah.
the guy with the hat.
Everyone who listens to
woman.
this podcast-
The guy that has the black hat, you know,
Yeah.
the black hat. The white hat.
Everyone who listens to this podcast will be like, why are they so mean to Matt?
Because he's an idiot.
And then they'll keep listening to the episodes.
And I'll understand
go,
why.
I understand.
I understand it now.
I really love Matt, don't we?
We love you, Matt.
Did you like the whole... Matt, the thing is, though, there's a lot of really hard to understand things in the show.
I understand.
Like, he
it
talks
all.
Oh.
about, like, a lot of, like, philosophical things, and he talks about art and how it represents what's happening in the park. Like, the whole thing where he looks at what's his name? It's the
Oh, you can't remember names
No,
now.
because it's a real thing where, God's pointing his finger out to
Oh, the Adam.
Yeah, it's an Adam thing. That really
I
old
forget what that's
painting.
called, yeah.
By
oh.
Leonardo something.
I know what you mean.
Leonardo
I know what you mean.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, that's the one.
I was thinking of that, but I didn't say it.
The
And,
picture where they're on the table,
no, that's the.
Wait, what is that called?
and they're talking about how his head,
Painting. Yes.
Yeah,
the image
they're
of his
talking
head.
about
Yeah.
Creation of Adam.
Click on it.
Creation by Adam.
He
Yeah,
explains
so-
they're not going to be able to tell, but if you look at the photo, everyone thought it was all a god thing, and then they found like 1,000 years later. No, it's not 1,000
His
years.
head
like
was
500
shaped.
years later, that the shape of the brain behind him
Yeah.
to represent that the guy who actually painted it was saying that. Oh, penis. Travis just zoomed in on the penis. It's very nice. Yeah,
Travis
to
did no such
represent that the idea of God is all in our minds and all that kind of stuff.
Oh my gosh, that was literally what we were talking about.
God, even I like
yeah,
talking about
we could
philosophy
just
now.
segue
You love
beautifully
it.
into philosophy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get into that.
Okay, I'm out of this.
Why don't you give us an input?
Yeah,
on
give
that?
us some. Give us
Philosophical eyes.
Yeah. So what we were talking about before Smiles came here and we started this whole thing. Can you tell the people what me and Travis were talking about?
No,
You were
I
listening.
think you two do it perfectly. You
No.
and Trav.
But they know each other's opinions, Matt. They want to hear what yours is.
No,
Yeah,
they don't.
We do. We really do, Matt. Where do you think? What is God? Where did God come from? Is God real?
I think God is a lie. That's what
Oh,
I think. Yeah.
how come?
Good old atheist versus Mormon.
I think it's used to control the masses. It's used by the rich to control the poor.
And why? What's your thinking of that?
I don't know. That's what I think.
Okay,
I
very
think
good.
that was true, but you got to explain why.
Yeah.
We did a whole semester in religion and ethics on how the church was using their power to
Yeah.
abuse people and stuff like
The
that.
Dark Ages, Matt.
No, you explain it.
They asked you.
Yeah,
No.
we're asking you, Matt.
Just pull your hair. Maybe it'll get your brain working. Put some oil in there. Fuel it up. Get your lip trembling again. Get to work.
So okay, I'll give a summary of what we were talking about. So basically, I'm just watching Smiles here, and he looks like he's going to kill himself.
That's true.
So basically, there's this theory, which I originally heard from Richard Dawkins from The God Delusion, where humans started off with imaginary friends. Remember this, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And basically,
Oh, how could I forget?
because way back then, people didn't understand the voices in their head, and they thought that was a god.
So much time.
Matt, just talk about philosophy.
Lord of the Rings is philosophy.
Well, what is the philosophy? The philosophy in Lord of the Rings, Matt?
Oh. Bad guy trying to use power to control everyone
And why does he want to do
via
that?
rings. I don't know.
How do you see that those themes are represented today, Matt? Those themes of control and one type of being, the orcs, trying to control the other people, Matt.
They're not. No, they're Saruman's pawn in all this.
Exactly.
Saruman loves your big, orc dick. As the prawns. Pawn.
With a W. Wait, hang on. Yeah.
This is great.
Okay, how about this? Let's go properly into philosophy by asking a big question.
Okay.
Just keep it away from Matt, you'll be fine.
Okay, what's it? I mean, the
Yeah.
meaning of life is asked too much.
This coffee is terrible.
Is there a God is asked too much? What's another good big question?
Free will.
Free will. Does it exist? Or is the future already set?
So, I want to go straight to mine. So what's his
Actually, I
opinion?
kind of want
Give
to.
us your verdict.
Yeah.
You have free will, but you also have. In a way, you're controlled by your. By your instincts and your. Well, what do you call it when you have a need to do something?
Desires, urges.
Not a desire, but
Urge.
Urge. Yeah, you have urges.
Yeah, you just said that.
Yeah. So in a way, you have free will, but these urges kind of take that away from you in a way.
Okay. What about you, Smiles? Do you think there's
I
such
was
thing
away
as
from the table. What's going
yeah?
on?
Do you think there's such thing as free will, and do we
Is
have
the
it?
future set? Or can we determine?
What? So what?
Is the future already written? Can we change it if we wanted
What?
to?
So you believe in the whole destiny thing, where
Yeah.
everyone has their own purpose?
Is that real? Do you reckon?
No.
Do you reckon we have free will?
What's with free will? I'm not under somebody's control 24/7.
Okay.
It's ridiculous.
What about you, Trav?
Unless we're in the Matrix or something.
Yeah. That's always a good way to start things.
Unless we're in the Matrix.
I don't know.
Do you see some weird glitches in the world?
I am the weird
Every time I
glitch.
see Matt try and speak, I think I'm in the bloody Matrix.
He's got deja vu before.
Deja vu.
I'm really lagging.
He's gonna like tap into someone's chest and turn them into another Matt.
So what about you, Trav? Do you think there's such thing as a free will? And do we have a destiny?
I reckon that there is free will, and
So yeah?
I reckon there is free will.
You reckon there's free
I
will?
reckon we can choose what happens.
Okay.
And I reckon
Choose what happens.
the interesting thing is though, it's hard to say, but I reckon if we could see, 5 dimensions or whatever, 4 dimensions, like if we could see the future, I reckon it would be set already.
Mm.
So I don't think time travel into the future at least could ever really exist, because if you go there, change something, and then the past gets changed.
It would be ready to be like that.
Yeah, like it just doesn't compute in my brain.
Well, there's different, it's really interesting when time travel, if it's a thing or not, because you can have a Back to the Future thing where it's a new timeline, it's a split of
creates a new one,
timeline.
yeah.
So there's two, that's the whole,
Sexy.
alternate realities type thing, where there's little things that have changed and they have different
That's on my iPad.
consequences. So today, for my cereal, I had a pie, right? But say, in another reality, my cereal, I had cereal for breakfast. And say from cereal, I had bad milk and I had a stomachache. And so that would be a different timeline where I wouldn't go out today and do this podcast. And this we wouldn't be recording.
Yeah. Well, see, the way I see it is that we have free will. We can choose what we do. That's just the way it is. But the future is set. But that doesn't mean that we don't have free will. If we, have a decision to make, do we, have a pie or do we have a sausage roll? If we choose the pie, that timeline that you can imagine of eating the sausage roll never could have existed ever.
Mm.
It doesn't exist. And you might say, there's alternate timelines and stuff. I don't think it could ever exist because you chose the pie. That was always going to happen, even if you didn't know it. Because, we can't see the future, so how could we know?
See, okay, I'm going to be a bit... Smiles just moved a bit to
Smiles is
Mumson.
doing other stuff.
You keep talking.
I reckon there isn't such thing as...
Keep talking.
No, okay. I reckon there is no such thing as a free will, right? By our standards,
do with,
what we think free will is, I don't think that's a thing.
The sausage.
Because...
No one, I guess,
So we're
yeah.
born
Yeah,
into a
yeah.
culture
No,
with two parents who have already their way how they think of things, right? So okay, I'm born into a culture where there's such thing as we believe in free will or capitalism and stuff, and that's so. And I think capitalism is a good thing because I have experienced what it does for the for the people I live around, and I was like, that's a good thing. Let's say in China, where they have a dictatorship and stuff, and they don't really believe that capitalism is a good thing.
You have free will to stop them, right?
So they might think, well, these guys are just greedy pigs. They don't, So I reckon because we have born as a blank slate, and through as we grow up, we learn different things. So, like,
yeah.
as a young person, I was given a pie, right? And I like pies. I've never been a big fan of, like, I've never,
It's brilliant.
in my younger life, had sausage rolls. So when I go to this bakery, you say, oh, Mason, you know, the sausage roll is really good. I'm like, oh, yeah. But in reality, I was always going to go that pie, because in the past, I've had pies and I'm a fan of pies. So I would pick that pie.
So basically, we don't have free will. Every action that we take in the future is determined by the past.
Yes.
And that's determined by our parents and our upbringing.
Yeah. So
Basically, every action we make is determined by external factors. It's not us deciding on our own, because every decision we make is always going to be...
What are you doing? Ruining the audio quality.
Just some ASMR in your video?
Every decision you make is always going to be, determined by everything else that happens in your life.
yes.
If you answer a question on a quiz, you can answer it correctly or incorrectly based on if you studied or if you knew the subject matter.
Yeah.
It's not because you inherently wanted to get it right, because that's not how it works. I see how that works.
So
It
that's...
makes a lot of sense.
Because as I was saying, well, as you know,
All of his friends.
it wasn't in the podcast, but as was like the black box idea. So for people that are just listening, basically scientists have discovered there's two parts of our brain.
Which is really
This is really annoying. Matt
let's
is
just-
talking.
Take a pause and listen to these people, because I'm sure this is really good stuff. Go on.
Yeah.
Let
He's
all the
talking about
audience
his brother's alter ego when he's speaking to people online.
Oh.
Totally.
Well, this sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
You should tell us more.
Tell us, Matt. Contribute.
Okay.
Staying.
I want to break up bloody philosophy talk with Mason.
So go on, Matt. You're just chewing
Tell us
into the
about your
mic.
brother's alter ego when online.
Alright. So when he talks online, he has a totally different, I don't know, self-image.
Persona.
Yeah, and it pisses me off. Like, when
Why?
I'm like, oh, hey, Chris, and he's like,
I'm not Chris. I'm Max.
yeah, there's like this, it's like I
Best
don't,
Battlefront player in the
it's like I don't know him when he talks online,
Yeah.
and it's just like, it's totally different, like it's so out of character.
If I was Chris, I wouldn't want to be myself either.
I wouldn't want to be Cumson either.
Yeah.
Bloody Compson.
No, Cumson's a great guy. He's lovely.
What an unfortunate name.
Compson.
Was that a water star?
Oh boy. That's right. When are you going to get back on your computer?
When I get a job.
Matt, you have a job. You're a professional podcaster.
Movie reviewer.
Movie reviewer.
reviewer.
Matt, review
YouTube.
some movies.
Yeah.
Get some ad revenue, if you can, because of all the issues they've been having with that.
Oh yeah,
lately.
nothing's
Oh my God.
nothing's a more stable income than bloody being a YouTuber right now.
It's always
What's actually happening with that at the moment?
Like if your video has like anything.
Yeah, you get demonetized really easily now.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like they're supporting all the YouTubers like Jimmy Kimmel and all those people who are like taking over YouTube, like
Yeah.
all those talk show hosts and stuff, and all those little kid channels who like review toys and stuff.
Yeah.
So they're giving them like all the ad revenue, and any like more adult kind of YouTuber, like I don't know, iDubbbz or bloody even PewDiePie's
Yeah.
getting demonetized to shit now. They just demonetize his video, which means they don't put ads on it,
Yeah.
which means he doesn't get any income off the video, and there's nothing he can do about it. So if his video gets demonetized, and sometimes they get demonetized like 2 minutes after he uploads them, and that video is just nothing now. All that work is for no reason because he won't get any money off
Is
it.
that
takes a lot of time
why?
to make
Is that
a
why a
video
lot of
to get nothing.
YouTubers will go like have sponsors from Audible like
Yeah,
within the
that's
video,
why they're doing that, because YouTube won't give them money anymore.
and also doing like Patreon, like if you want to support me, send $1 a month.
Yeah.
Now they have been talking actually recently about switching maybe to IGTV, which is Instagram, which is basically terrible in my opinion, but it's all vertical video. Like YouTube is 16:9 sideways usually, and the IGTV is all vertical, so it'd be perfect for looking at it on your phone.
It wouldn't work on computers, would it?
No, it would be like that in the middle of the screen. Just it
So
would be horrible.
YouTubers talk about maybe moving to the Instagram TV thing.
Well,
YouTubers are saying, like Instagram TV, they're supposed to be saying, it's all for the creators, and it looks like it's a better platform for getting money. But I mean,
what about like the consumer? Like that sounds kind of bad for us.
well, yeah, I mean the consumers don't get much out of it. It's like, and like there's sort of two ways of looking at it. You can either say, maybe we should look at the vertical video and try to come up with good creative ways of using it to its potential. But we have used, rectangles on their, side for
Ages.
every time we've used screens. We started with squares, I suppose, but we've basically done it sideways because we see more. I mean, our eyes are horizontal, they're not vertical. It makes more sense this way.
What animal has eyes though? I guess
Snakes.
No.
What type of eyes? What do you mean?
Snakes.
I guess like maybe spiders. Spiders have eyes on top.
Snakes have eyes that are like completely.
No,
Yeah,
I mean
that-
like if they're on top of each other.
See,
So
Like if we had eyes here and here.
What, like a bloody
so,
spider?
yeah, that's why I said.
Sort of.
That's why I said spider eyes like
We're always
this.
going back to spiders, aren't we, Matt?
Yes, we are.
Jeez.
But like, as it stands, I mean, you see like on the news or whatever, someone will record like an event, like a crash or something in vertical, and everyone's like, don't do that, record it on its side, it's much better.
Yeah.
Even if it's a terrible, phone video.
But are more
It's
people,
just better.
Are more people watching YouTube on their phones or on their computers?
Well, I've been watching it a lot
Depends
more
where
on
you
my
are.
phones lately.
And you know what the reason
But
why?
that's just me. So.
When Instagram TV, they had like a press conference thing, a conference or whatever it is, and they were talking about why they don't do it horizontal. They don't allow you to do it horizontal. They only let you do it vertical. They said the reason why they do it is because doing that with your hand, with your phone, is too difficult.
It's like,
Can't you hold it like this though?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, I'm showing you this in an order. Like, it's like
You have to imagine.
The youngins are lazier these days. They can't flip the phone around. They might drop it and make their mummy and daddies pay for it, like Marshall.
I like how you
another guess we might.
yeah, you just throw it under the bus.
That's what I do.
You've literally said Caleb and Marshall. You both people that these
Maybe it might be some
And his
special
brother.
guests we have.
Yeah.
that we just throw underneath the bus.
Yeah, we'll have,
It's
we'll have a
fun, random people as we sit here.
Caleb's favourite hentai section,
Oh, yeah.
which would be a long section.
It'd be 5 episodes. in
5
itself.
episodes of just that. Oh, jeez.
I wonder if you could relate that back to Lord of the Rings.
Oh, I hope not.
Lord of the Rings hentai. That's your
With-
favourite genre.
With spiders. Oh, yeah.
Entire
I mean, those
Like,
ants, they could do a lot
Orcon
with
spider.
that twig.
Yeah.
47 minutes, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. So,
Quality content, right?
well, I guess we should start wrapping it up before, the
Any
audience.
final comments, Travis?
Oh,
Too bad. Makes it
Yeah.
okay.
I'm just sad that I had to stop my philosophy talk
Oh yeah, no.
because of
Let's
Matt.
keep going.
Oh, I'm
Let's
so
continue
sorry.
that
Oh,
talk,
man.
'cause that was
Because you guys were went on something.
Never mind. I'm going to move back
That's
and Mason and Travis can talk about
No,
philosophy again.
you're not allowed to move. You have to
to
stay there.
But this whole philosophy thing is making me like, it's giving me a midlife crisis. So I'm
Yeah,
like, ugh, what is life?
That's fine.
What is the point of anything?
Yeah, that's
And
fine.
you're just going to hear
Well,
my...
tell me, Reilly,
That's
what is-
helpful. Yeah, give us what's your philosophy?
is
What
the
do you
point
live
of
by?
everything, Reilly?
I don't know.
That's a lot of people.
Uh,
People just don't know. That's why philosophy is a good thing. I keep saying it wrong.
You
Philosophy.
guys can talk about your bloody pies and sausage rolls, whatever the hell you're talking about. And I will contribute when I feel necessary.
Well, you got to sit there and not move.
Fine,
It's really
I
annoying.
will sit here and not talk about Matt and his retarded brother.
what we were, what
Yeah,
were
we're
we
talking
up
about. I think I was talking about the black box
to? Yes.
concept, where basically
Sausage
I can't get talk when he's just staring off to Matt looking miserable.
He could just say sausage rolls and pies, and I'll just finish everyone's all laughing. He's looked at me and he's like, sausage rolls. Okay, talk about your black box or your black sausage roll.
What was I, so the as I said, the black. So scientists had discovered two parts of the human brain, right? Where one side is like personality, new thinking, and emotions, where the other side's like where it makes you breathe and makes you have spatial awareness, and which will put ideas in your head. And how that works is that, say you're walking along, and you hear somebody say something, as Travis said, like Rudolph, right? And he wasn't really paying attention. He didn't have that in his mind's eye. He wasn't thinking about it at all. He just continued talking to some other person. But later on in the day,
someone just mentioned the word Rudolph in conversation. And it wasn't a conversation with me. I didn't listen to it. I just heard the word, and it didn't like register or anything. I just knew that I heard the word.
Yeah.
And then like 2 hours later, I started whistling Christmas tunes.
So that's what the black box idea is that you'll get a concept, and later on it will spit back out to you. And basically, how scientists and philosophers have kind of said this, it's like, do we even have free will on our thoughts? Because Smiles just saw a hot chick walk past. I couldn't tell if she was hot or not.
That was a man.
She looks cute, I guess.
Definitely underage.
There's no misogyny on this show, by the way.
Because Smiles, as a past age, he was taught to like girls, or like he's always had an interest in girls when he was younger. Allegedly. And later in life, he will just drift off and look at a girl when she walks past. It's like kind of the black box concept where you won't focus on something when you absorb information. You won't be thinking about it, but later on it will spit that idea back at you, and you can maybe take that as it's like, oh, maybe I do want to do this, or maybe I don't want to do this.
It's that kind of reminds me of like the thing where if you think about like a problem that you have or an issue before you go to bed, then you might dream of something about it, and then in the morning you'll have the answer maybe.
Why would Rudolph be a thing for you?
I don't know.
You're attracted to reindeers or something?
No,
it's not just.
It was nothing. There was
His
nothing
red
in
nose.
the situation to remind me of Christmas at all. It's just earlier. The only thing I could think back to that had anything to do with Christmas was someone said Rudolph, and then later I just started whistling, and then I stopped. I'm like, what tune am I whistling? It was a Christmas song. Like, is that related? Because I can't think of anything else that would be related to unless I'm just going crazy. Which is very likely.
So that's that black box concept where, like, you'll absorb information and you won't focus on it later on. It'll give you the idea of that thing later on in life. So people will say, do we have free will on our thoughts?
This is what he was talking about with like how we don't have free will. We just basically every thought we have is based off external influences and our past. Every decision we make is not a decision that we consciously make the way we think we do. It's just based on our past. It's set already by what's happened in the past.
So we don't have free will as we think we have free will.
But of course that then says, what are the first actions that you take? Because they can't be based on actions you've already taken. You don't exist before that point. But then you'd say it's from like your parents and your upbringing and your the culture and the country that you're in, all that sort of thing. So basically, you're just a shell, and you're just doing stuff that everything else makes you do. It's really depressing.
Really depressing.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
we're just
we're not even
ghosts in the
choosing our
shell.
own characters. It's all based off what we were raised as.
Yeah, like
and stuff
Skyrim.
like that.
Skyrim is so great.
So,
You can
because
choose
my
your
dad's
colour.
a pedophile, I naturally am attracted to little boys.
well, the thing is,
Obviously.
That's deep.
but the
It's
thing
just
is,
sensible.
there are things like that. Like, I was in a court case. I was part of the jury.
God, I wish I did that back in. I can't get jury duty.
And
because I got a semi-degree.
basically, the guy, he not really supposed to go into details, but he basically touched his stepdaughter, and the reason of that is because his father also touched him and was abusive to him. So we think we might have free will, but things will influence to have interest in other things.
So no members of my family have any bloody child molestation tendencies, or I'm in trouble.
Well, if you ever witnessed that,
Cancer is a history of...
if you saw your uncle, I like how to go straight to uncle.
My dad.
Your dad.
What? So if I saw anything like that, it'd be burned into my brain,
Yeah.
and I'll just
I'm
and
consciously
every time I see a
subconscious.
little kid, I'll just something will just be like,
Well, it won't
I
even
want to
more so than
fondle
it
that
is.
kid's ballsack. You know.
Well,
This is great content.
you won't just do it, but you might have the idea to do it. But because you'll have other worldly influences saying that's a bad thing, you might think that's actually I shouldn't do that. It's bad.
It's all just up to your moral compass. But to decide if you're going to do the right thing or wrong, right thing or not. What is right or wrong, Travis?
Well, that
Do you
is
base your
very
right and
different.
wrong based on what God said?
But what is what God
Now that's
said?
interesting because this is what we were also talking about before. Is like we should get rid of the concept of God and just focus on love, because God can mean so many things. Because
Sound like the bloody hippie movement. Free love, dude.
Oh, this podcast is
It's a hippie podcast.
it's designed to start a cult.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at the cult following.
Yeah.
Mumson will be the leader. And all of his preachers will just like, and everyone will be like, oh yes, praise
It's
Mumson.
time for a sermon. Let's set aside 3 days.
3 days from the same one sentence. Oh jeez.
Day 2.
He's like, my name is
I don't know what I want to say.
And they're like, oh, here we go again. They start praying, they bow down. They're like, oh, the more they pray, the more Matt strokes out when he tries to make a sentence. and then he just passes out because he can't breathe. He's like, God did it! Every time before he passes out, he's like, I am Mumson! And he just passes out. Oh, God. The only words he can say is his name and I'm.
Mine's an I am.
Mumson, I am.
He's Yoda.
In that order.
In that order.
He's Yoda.
Yeah, he speaks in Yoda. It's like speaking in tongues, but for Mumson. Okay. 56 minutes and 37 seconds.
Ooh,
Not bad.
But the thing is, we're probably going to cut it down if we want. Like, do you want to?
Why?
I
I
guess.
think
Why
it's all
bother?
good.
Do we?
It's
Do,
all-
It's
it's
just
all
a trial
classic.
run. I think
It's all gold.
We just listen to it and see what worked, and then we can just do that kind of stuff next time.
yeah.
And I figured out that I think we should pause it for this.
Okay, well,
Okay. Well, see you guys.
Wait, I got an
That'll be
outro.
yeah,
Yeah, so that was our first episode as a trial run.
Oh, we never came up with a name.
We don't need it.
Okay, this will
Well,
be
we called
the.
it the unnamed podcast.
We have till 1 hour to figure out the name.
Do we? How come?
Well, we were.
No, we have to make it under an hour.
We could call it the Dickheads because we already have the picture for that. But
The Dickheads
that
could
should
be
the
in
album.
a
That should be the band
that's,
name.
yeah, so
What about Reilly's grandma? She
Right.
won't like
yeah,
that.
she won't like that. It has to be tame, grandma style.
Grandma
The
style. It's called
Richard,
Grandma
the Richard
style.
heads. The rich heads. Richie heads. I don't know.
The Mumson Podcast.
The Mumson Podcast. Okay,
Very
perfect.
good.
Goodbye.
I don't want to know that. I thought I would call